Hello friends, and welcome to yet another exhilarating video of Wisdom Zone, and this is Shabro, and I'm quite sure you have already guessed it. Today I have the fifth session of English conversation practice, and today I'm going to give you 25 useful English phrasal verbs so that you can use them and practice your English conversation and sound more proficient and confident. So it is my earnest request to all the viewers, please watch this video carefully till the end so that you can learn all the 25 useful phrasal verbs and practice your English conversation. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do not wait friends and immediately subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification of this type of video. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. So friends, welcome back to this session of English conversation practice, and today's video is all about 25 useful phrasal verbs, and I'm gonna give you 25 useful phrasal verbs so that you can use them and practice your English conversation, and in turn it's going to help you immensely to sound more fluent and proficient in your oral communication. So before I move ahead, let me quickly remind all the viewers, you will find all the previous 4 links in the description on English conversation practice. So if you haven't checked the previous videos, do not forget to check them, and the links are given in the description. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So friends, as you see, today our focus is on English conversation practice. That's also using 25 useful phrasal verbs, and phrasal verbs are extremely useful for your English conversation, and it helps you to speak smoothly, and it helps you to also speak in a precise manner without complicating the sentence. If you know some important phrasal verbs, it really helps to converse smoothly. So that's why today I'm gonna give you 25 useful phrasal verbs for your everyday English conversation, and you can use this, and I'm going to show you how you can use this phrasal verbs and how you can practice also. So before I move ahead, let me quickly just tell you what exactly is a phrasal verb. So as you see on your screen, what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a multi-word verb, in fact, which I have already mentioned in my other videos. As you know, it's a combination verb where we combine a verb plus preposition, or we can combine a verb plus adverb, or we can combine both to form this type of a multi-word verb. That's called a phrasal verb. As you see, there are 2 examples. I'm going to read it out. The first one is pick up. Okay, that means to somehow collect something, especially from the ground, that is to pick up. Or you can say pick someone up from somewhere also, that's also pick up. Another is to slow down, that means to reduce the speed. So instead of saying slow, you can say slow down. That means when you're asking someone to reduce the speed of something, especially a vehicle or a car. So I'm quite sure you have understood why phrasal verbs are useful. So now I'm gonna step by step go ahead and give you all the 25 useful phrasal verbs. As you see friends, the first category is early morning. I'm going to give you some phrasal verbs that's going to help you out to speak in English and help you to converse in English, and especially related to early morning. These are related to early morning. As you see, the first one is wake up, which is very useful. As you know, that means to rise from the bed. You can also say get up. So you can use this phrasal verb like this way. As you see the example, he usually gets up at 6 a.m. in the morning. So the important thing to note is that I'm using third person he, so that's why he gets up. And in case of first person, as you know, get up. As you know, that subject verb agreement is different when it comes to third person singular number. He gets up, right? Because the get up is a phrasal verb, it obviously changes in case of third person singular number. So up next we will see the second useful phrasal verb that is related to early morning. So as you see, that is freshen up. Freshen up is also extremely useful. Let me explain. It means to wash your hands and face and make yourself cleaner. That's called freshen up. So you can use it in your conversation. As you see the example, I like to freshen up after my morning walk. Obviously it's very important. Instead of saying I like to clean my face and wash my hands, so instead of that you can just use one phrasal verb, that I like to freshen up. So by using that you can explain you like to clean up. Understood? So remember this. Up next we will see the third one, that is get ready. Get ready is also very useful. It means to prepare or to make ready. So as you see, Sam gets ready for the office at 9 a.m. Means he becomes ready. Up next, let's concentrate on the fourth one. As you see, that is put on. Put on is very important. Here, put on means to dress yourself in. So let me show you. To wear clothes is called to put on. I put on a white shirt yesterday. So I'm using that in past. I'm talking about yesterday, but yeah, it does not change. Put remains put. So just remember it. So up next we will see the number fifth one. As you see, that is get on. Get on is to go on a bus, train, aircraft or etc. That is to get on it and travel. So let me show you. As you see the example, I get on the bus at 8 a.m. every day. That means I just take the bus and travel. That's called get on. Very useful. You can say that I get on the bus or I get on the train. Up next you see the sixth one, that is get off, and it is also useful, just the opposite of get on. If you are using get on to get inside a bus, and get off is to just come out of it. That means to leave a bus or train. As you see the example, I get off the bus at 8:25 a.m. every day. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. Here I have discussed some useful phrasal verbs related to early morning and early morning conversation. You can use these phrasal verbs. So up next I'm going to go ahead and discuss the second category, where you will find some more phrasal verbs. Here I'm going to discuss some more phrasal verbs related to workplace and colleagues. So let's turn our attention towards the seventh one, that is get along. Get along means to have a good relationship, is to get along. So it can be used for professional purpose. As you see the example, Ben gets along well with his colleagues. Obviously I'm talking about Ben, third person singular, so gets along. I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. So let's turn our attention towards the eighth one, that is get on with. So get on with is also a very useful phrasal verb for your business communication. It means to start or continue doing something, especially like work or business. That is to get on with. Okay, that means to do something, do some work or business, to continue doing it or to start doing it. So let me show you the example. Our boss asked us to stop wasting time and get on with the task. That means he asked us to start working and not waste time. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. Up next we will see the ninth one. As you see, that is bring up. Bring up is also a very useful one related to workplace. That means to mention or raise a topic. So let me show you how to use it. As you see the example, Paul brought up the important matter during the meeting. That means he raised that issue which was important, right? So that is to bring up. So let's see the 10th one from this category, that is set up. Set up is also useful and it is related to corporate sector. That is to establish or arrange a business or a kind of a enterprise or unit. So let's see the example. Sam is planning to set up his own enterprise. That means he is planning to set up his own business, perhaps own company. So here set up is to establish a company or business or unit. So up next we will see the 11th one, that is bring in. Bring is also a very useful one for your everyday English conversation, especially related to your workplace and professional field. So bring in means to introduce something new, like a product or law. That's called to bring in. That is to launch, you can say. Launch a product is also called to bring in. This is a useful phrasal verb. Let me show you the use. As you see the example, our company is going to bring in some new products next year. That means our company is going to launch some new products next year. So remember it, it's very useful for your everyday English conversation, and use it and try to practice your English conversation. Up next we will see the 12th one, that is put off. Put off means to postpone or delay, especially a particular event or meeting. So as you see the example, our manager put off the meeting for a week. That means he postponed it. Maybe because of some emergency he did it, that's why this is used. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. So up next we will see the next one, that is number 13 and the last one from this category, that is call off. It's a very useful one, obviously related to corporate communication. It means to cancel a planned event is called call off, especially a meeting or a seminar or any conference. So as you see the example, the meeting was called off as the managing director was not present. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear how to use this wonderful phrasal verb. So here we have covered up to 13, and up next we will see the next category, that is everyday life and hobbies. Here also I will discuss some interesting phrasal verbs. As you see, the 14th one, that is take up. Take up means to become interested in something, especially to start doing something, especially a particular hobby or activity, that is to take up. So it's very useful for your everyday life. So as you see the example, Tom took up badminton when he was 12. That means he started playing. He became interested in, that means he started playing it. Up next we will see the 15th one, that is look for. Look for is to search something or information or anything, that's called to look for. Ben is looking for a new accommodation. That means he's searching a new accommodation. So let's turn our attention towards the 16th one, which you see on your screen, that is settle down, which is useful for everyday life. As you see the meaning, it means to become familiar with a place. So that is to settle down. Another meaning is to become calmer. So sometimes we say please settle down. That means we are asking someone to behave in a calmer way, right? But here the meaning which we are going to discuss is to become familiar with a place in our everyday lives. And let me show you the example. It took him 3 months to settle down in his new house. That means it took him 3 months to become familiar with his new place or new house. So that's the meaning of settle down here. Up next we will see the 17th one, that is breakdown, which is very useful in our everyday life. Let me explain. It means to malfunction, especially a machine or device when it stops functioning. Okay, that's called to break down. So as you see the example, Tony's car broke down last night. That means it stopped functioning. In fact, it started malfunctioning for us. It stopped working. That is to break down here. Okay. Up next we will turn our attention towards the 18th one, that is put up with. Put up with is also useful for your everyday life and in everyday English conversation. So it means to tolerate someone or something. So to tolerate or to try to somehow adjust with something or someone is called to put up with. So let me show you how to use it. Ben finds it difficult to put up with his arrogant landlord. That means he finds it difficult to tolerate and bear with his arrogant landlord or to adjust with his arrogant landlord. Okay. Up next we will see a similar one, that is 19, that is bear with someone, but it is different in the sense that it means to patiently wait while someone does something. If someone is asking you to please bear with me, that means the person is asking you to be patient and wait for that person because the person is doing something. As you see the example, a doctor said, please bear with me for a moment while I finish the call. So like this way you can use it. It's very useful. You can say please bear with me for a moment and let me finish my task. So it's very useful for your everyday life and in everyday English conversation. Try to incorporate it and comment below. Up next we will see the number 20. 20th one is shop around. Very useful. It's a type of kind of a phrasal verb which you use for hobby or for recreation. Shop around means to compare the prices and other features of the same product in different shops. It's called to shop around. That means to go to different shops, or right now it can be online also, and try to compare the prices of the same product and the features in different shops and different maybe sites, and try to figure out which one is better and which one is the best. So as you see the example, Smith likes to shop around before buying anything expensive. So nowadays we tend to do it, we tend to shop around, isn't that, because we have multiple options. Before buying something expensive, we obviously like to shop around, isn't that? And comment below if you do the same. Up next we are going to see the 21st one, that is turn up. Turn up is to arrive or appear unexpectedly. If someone arrives unexpectedly or appears unexpectedly somewhere, that time we say turn up. So as you see the example, last night my boss turned up at my place. So that means unexpectedly he came. Understood? So last night my boss turned up at my place. That means he unexpectedly came to my place. So up next we will see the last category. The last category is all about health and fitness. Here we will see some more phrasal verbs. As you see the 22nd one, that is get over. Very useful one. It means to recover from an illness or emotional distress. Any disease or any kind of distressing situation, when you recover, then we use this phrasal verb get over. So let me show you how to use it. It took him 4 weeks to get over the illness. That means it took him 4 weeks to recover from that illness. So up next we will see the 23rd one, that is put on, which is very useful. That means to increase weight or become heavier. Bob has put on 5 kgs in 2 months. That means he has put on weight. He has put on weight and he has become heavier. He has put on 5 kgs in 2 months. Up next we will see the 24th one, that is cut out. Cut out is very useful for health and fitness, especially for maintaining your health. That means to stop eating or drinking something bad for your health. That is to cut out. So let's see how to use it. Bob's dietitian asked him to cut out fried foods. So that means he asked him to cut out, means to stop eating fried food. Ben's dietitian asked him not to eat fried foods. Okay. So up next we will turn our attention towards the last one, and that's the 25th one. As you see, that is go round. Go round means, it's a very useful one. It means transmitted or given from one person to another person, or to move from one place to another, or one person to other person. That means to get transmitted is called go around. That's the meaning we are discussing here, right, in this category. That means something really spreads, especially a disease. Understood? Goes from one person to another person. Okay, spreads from one person to another person, or the disease that spreads from one place to other place. Understood? So let's see the example. A contagious viral fever is going around at present. That means it is transmitting, it is going from person to person, and it is spreading. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear how to use this beautiful phrasal verb. So friends, today I gave you 25 extremely useful phrasal verbs for your everyday English conversation practice, and I have given you 25 useful sentences. Please go through the sentences and practice and make more sentences and comment below. And again, it is my earnest request to all the viewers, if you haven't subscribed to this channel to get this type of informative video, please do not forget and subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification. So stay tuned for further informative videos, friends, and do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Wisdom Zone.